Good morning. My name is George Sebastião, co-founder and CEO of Global Blockchain Organization. And I would like to welcome you all to Blockchain Live in Moscow. Unfortunately, I cannot be there with you today, but please find here my presentation. And it's my pleasure to always join you, if not physically, at least today remotely as well. So let me share you the slide screens. My topic today is about blockchain and green technologies. We know this is all extremely important as we create what we call sustainability and impact solutions by using the technology of blockchain. When we created the Global Blockchain Organization, our primary objective was to bring the brightest minds and the best solutions in the blockchain space. And obviously, we have a lot of creativity and a lot of brain power, and that's what allows us to create a lot of innovation in this space. So what are we really doing here is creating massive amounts of disruption. So we're changing the status quo. And obviously, green technology is one of these areas that we need to go beyond just the technology that removes the carbon from the atmosphere, but also to change the financial system to empower and to enable this disruption to take faster implementation. So when we talk really about disruption in this space, we really talk about massive innovation. And massive innovation implies shifting of solutions, but also shifting of intellectual as well as financial capital as well. Obviously, as we do this transformation, there's some key changes that need to take place. And this is based into three primary legs. One is what we call decarbonization, which is reduce the carbon from the atmosphere by removing it. And obviously, this needs to happen on a global perspective. The second element that is extremely important is decentralization. So today, when we talk about green technology, and let's say you have a house or apartment or a building or a factory, you're no longer just a consumer of electricity. You can actually be producer as well, which means, for example, if you have solar panels on the roof or on your mainland, it really means that you can create what we call the concept of microgrids. And on one day you consume, the next day you produce, and you need to have the technology that enables this system to actually integrate itself. The third important element is the introduction of better digitalization. All the systems that we had in the past have been extremely outdated and do not match the requirements of today. So we're introducing things like, for example, smart meters with IoT, smart and what we sometimes can refer to today as conscientious cities. By introducing smart meters, we can force the change of when this electricity gets consumed, and we have a much better grasp on the data that is being generated. But it's not just those three elements that are important. It's how we produce a complete end-to-end solution to actually impact this environment. And when we combine both blockchain, energy, and green tech together, we have an amazing solution that includes, for example, the elements that blockchain add is an element of trust, element of digital signatures and smart contracts, the capability, for example, to tokenize electricity, whether it's the consumption or the production of that electricity, and automatically create a ledger that has all these transactions visible in a transparent way without any modification by third parties. So when we talk about decarbonization in green tech, we really want to reach a point where on one side, we're reducing the existing carbon emissions, but on another side, we're also using carbon credits to shift the capital investments that we do today by accelerating this change. So when these two elements collide and converge together, what we have is a much faster implementation of this overall ecosystem of reaching zero carbon emissions. So when we talk, I think, for example, carbon credits and marketplaces, blockchain enables us to create these marketplaces, to do proper accounting and reporting, and to actually have a complete credit system that is visible to all the parties, whether it happens to be government, industry, or private sector. So Not only that, we're able to also put these carbon credits in a marketplace. Today, 1 ton of carbon retails at something like $11 to $15, where it should actually be probably close to $40 or $50. By attaching a real price tag to the decarbonization aspect and creating it like a free market, what we're able to do is shift the financial resources much faster by having the proper cost factor. Everybody is adopting that. Big companies like Microsoft, in the IT industry, Shell, in the oil and gas industry, transportation companies, manufacturing companies, logistic and supermarket companies like, for example, Amazon, are essential elements because they produce a lot of carbon through the footprint of their operations. So any changes that they do by going, for example, things like electrical vehicles or smarter, faster transportation, intelligent transportation, this reaches a much better end goal. We are creating a complete end-to-end green tech life cycle by tokenizing these elements in the blockchain. And here I show you a complete life cycle in which one of the green chains, in this one, Green B2E, allows, for example, ministries and all that to have this direct impact in the decarbonization of our industry. Blockchain as a technology enables us to create an ecosystem. And not only to create an ecosystem, to actually integrate this ecosystem from retail to backend by providing the necessary credits to accelerate this decarbonization as well. But one element we should not forget is our solutions need to be friendly. Our solutions need to address the end user. So things like mobile apps and extremely friendly UXs are important to drive this adoption. Things like calculators for carbon footprint, etc., are now available today in mobile apps. So let me show you some video of what the future looks like.
A carbon exchange allows there to be some transparency in how we price carbon, how we assess the quality of these carbon supplies, especially the carbon coming from our part of the world. To be sure that a carbon offset is real, we can deploy various kinds of technologies and new techniques to validate the project, to monitor the project, to make sure that the project is in fact delivering on its climate change benefits, and also many other co-benefits to society and to biodiversity in the region.
So blockchain is able to provide these solutions. Countries and cities like Dubai have impacted by forcing blockchain to actually be adopted by all government institutions. And this is basically being done in the year we are today, 2020 and 2021. You can see some of these solutions in the 2020 Expo, which went live on October 1st. We have an implementation guide, which has been created by the Dubai Blockchain Center for all these projects. And this drives the best practice in the industry to be successful in blockchain implementation. So I think the road ahead looks extremely bright when we combine both blockchain and green technology. So I do invite you to be on board, and I want you to be part of this change as we move towards decarbonization and green tech. So I want to wish all the attendees of Blockchain Live an extremely amazing conference, and looking forward to seeing you extremely soon. Thank you.